Hi, this is Gayle. Welcome to my channel again. On Sunday nights, we talk about overcoming obstacles and we look at, whatever's on your mind and what kind of obstacles you're looking at having to overcome. And this week, I was asked a question, so we're going to start on there. But first, let me ask you to please, if you like this video, give me that big thumbs up and go ahead and give me a like. Also, I'd like to get your input on the time for overcoming obstacles. I'm doing it at 10 p.m. tonight, which was actually suggested by somebody who watches. So I want you to tell me, by leaving me a comment down below, what's going to work best for your schedule. Should we go back to 6 p.m. or should we leave it at 10? So I'm going to let you tell me that. Again, just leave that in the comments below. And if you like the videos, as always, give me a big thumbs up. And let's see. Here we go. Ooh, Tanya's in. Hi, Tanya. I hope things are going well, Tanya. I hope you had a great, happy St. Patrick's Day. So, Tanya, with you being in this chat room, and Lady Serenity, hey, both of you guys, let me know what time you guys think works best for the live streams. Okay, Tanya, you're saying that 10 is fine. That's great. Lady Serenity, Haldane, what time works best for you on the live streams? The 10 p.m., it was suggested that I look at moving it, so we're trying it at 10 tonight. But if you want to let me know like what works for you, we're going to look at moving things around. Because this is y'all's live streams. I just kind of facilitate it. So I want to know what works best for you. So let me know. 10 is good. Okay, so I've got 2 10s. Great. And Lady Serenity, I know it's Faith. Hi, Faith. Always use your screen name, though. Always, always, especially right at front at the top of a live stream, just because it works better for people who are watching it. So that way they kind of know who you are, especially if it happens to go over to Blog Talk Radio for a podcast. That way people can recognize your channel name and hopefully go see it too. So there you go. Yeah. So something that was asked, in addition to, the suggestion of moving to Sunday nights at 10 versus 6, I was just asked this week, a couple of days ago, about what I thought the biggest obstacle is for traveling. If I thought it was money or if I thought it was picking a destination. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, Faith. Thank you for coming in. And I'm tickled that both of you ladies are here because I think you're going to enjoy each other. So on the traveling, what Glenda wanted to know, let me pull it back up so I can get her exact wording here. Which, by the way, Glenda, thank you for sending me the question. I appreciate that email. If anybody else is watching it or listening and you want to send me an email, that's Gayle, Gayle, at GayleCrabtree.com. And the email address is also in the description box. Of course, you're welcome to use the email address that goes with my other blog, which is youvebeenreviewed@gmail.com. So let me pull her question up if I can get her exact wording. I know, I should have already done this. Okay, here we go. Glenda is asking, hey, Gayle, I love your channel. What do you think is the biggest obstacle that keeps people from traveling? I want to go, but I want your opinion. Is it money or what is it? Okay, Glenda, what I think is the biggest obstacle that keeps people from traveling is probably not what most people are going to say. I've got one in the chat room right now who's saying it's money. My idea for what keeps people from traveling is not money, it's time. It's setting the time to plan the trip, it's setting the time aside to actually go on the trip. If a trip is important enough to you to take, then important enough for you to find the time for you to take the trip, then you're going to find the money. And if it's not important enough for you to set that time aside, then nothing else is going to fall into place. So I would say time. So what do you guys think? Also, my disability. Good point. And Lady Serenity is saying, yeah, probably money and making sure that I have a dependable vehicle. Okay. So I may be overruled here. For me, it's I think setting aside the time, simply because if it's, if you set aside the time, it's like that you have, say, a 1-week vacation that you have to take, then you're going to find, if you want to go somewhere, you're going to find the money to go, whether it's like just spending the day at a park or going, like if you're in East Tennessee, you've got a bunch of places you can get to within just a few minutes to go for a vacation. But for me, I guess, too, my view may be a little different because I'm a freaking travel nut. But yeah, dependable car is a big deal. And a driver, I can't go alone. Those are two good ones. Because if you don't have a dependable car, you're not going to get very far. I can definitely see where both of you guys are coming on that. And because that makes sense too. So, hey, J. Kurt Vavo. I hope I got that right. I'm not mispronouncing it. But hi and welcome. J. Kurt, we were just talking about travel and what the biggest obstacle is that keeps people from traveling, but we're not sticking with that. We're also talking about other things. So come on in and make yourself at home. Well, I'm glad 10 p.m. works for everybody. And Faith, I'm glad you're here for the live stream. I'm like, yay! I'm glad to see you. And Jay Kurt, I'm glad to see you. And Tanya, it's good to see you. I was wondering how you were doing. And the Lady Serenity Haldane says, thanks, me too. And everybody's saying hello, which is awesome. So now that I've talked about Glenda's question, what's on y'all's mind? Oh, and don't forget, give me a big thumbs up if you haven't already, because that helps in lots of ways. Oh, Tanya, I was just saying I was glad to see you. I was wondering how you were doing. Yeah. So how has the weather been for everyone? I know by us, we had some really rough stuff that came through. They were talking about a possible tornado, but I think that was just maybe a funnel cloud and not the real deal with a tornado. And Jake Hart Vivo, I am checking out your channel. I don't think we're hooked up, but I'm checking it now. All right. Lady Serenity Haldane says, thank goodness we had good weather this weekend. Girl Scout cookie booths are killing me, LOL. I can imagine. See, Faith, I didn't have Girl Scout cookie booths with my daughter. I had band camp. And we had band fundraisers and concession stands. But I can sympathize. And Tanya Lambert says, good, my weight loss surgery is going to be soon. I start my liquid diet this coming week, and we'll have 2 weeks of that, then surgery. That's awesome, Tanya. I hope that goes well. I think that's exciting that you're going to have the surgery and you're doing that. So keep me posted as it goes on and let me know how you're doing, because I'm going to assume there's going to be a few days or so that you're going to be kind of offline taking care of yourself. So don't be a stranger. And I just got a reminder that I didn't tweet this. All right. Let me send this out on Twitter. Yeah, I've talked about looking into a SMS messaging service to put messages out about this. So I haven't gotten a lot of feedback, so I can't decide which way to jump. But let me go ahead and send this out on Twitter. Okay. Okay, now somebody can get off my back about not sending out a reminder, because I just did. Red letter day, and I remembered. And let's see. Faith, Lady Serenity Haldane, says, almost 1,126 boxes sold for her daughter and almost 2,000 for the troop of 2 girls. Way to go. And Tanya Lambert says she will, and that's in reference to keeping us posted about some surgery that she's having. And Faith is asking, what kind of weight loss surgery, Tanya? I did that in 1994. I did not know that. And Tanya Lambert says, also, Mom and I are gearing up to get my service dog June 14th, 22. And Tanya Lambert says the duodenal switch, it's a biggie surgery. I'm not really familiar with the different types of surgeries that there are. I have another friend who was looking into it. I understand that it's a big deal no matter which way you go on which type you have. Life altering, but hopefully life altering in a good way. Mm. Is recovery, is this going to be one of the surgeries like another friend that had it? She had it several years ago and she wound up being in ICU for a week. Is that going to be the case with you, Tanya? And if so, are you going to be able to go get your service dog? Are you going to be healed enough for that? Because I know you want to do both. With me, the surgery that's getting put off is my knee surgery. And Tanya says, this is the biggest one they offer. Not many surgeons do it. Okay. Well, I hope it goes well. You know. And she says, nope, only 2 days in the hospital. That's good. That's really good. So you're going to be good and recovered for when you go get your special critter. I'm actually going to be ranting about, on Friday about some experiences I had with Tomlin this past week when we went on vacation. I had several dogs that were off leash that growled at him. And it's just because their owners had them off leash. So, or had their dogs off leash. We, of course, always make sure that Tomlin is on it. And Tanya says, I'm used to surgery, had my first one at age of 5 years old. Wow. That's tough. And Faye said, yes, I had the vertical Y bypass done. Back then, they kept you in the hospital for a whole week, and it was regular surgery, not laparoscopy like they do now. Surgery is rough. Anytime you have to go into the hospital, it's just a nightmare. Tanya, I hear you about being young with surgery. My younger daughter was actually about 20 months old when she had her first one. And Tanya says, mine will be lapro. Okay, that's good. Because that's got to cut the recovery time. And Faith says, I totally agree. So, but I hate being in the hospital, much less having surgery. It's, they're terrible places to be. Of course, when you're having something done that's going to help you, you have to, it's one of those necessary evils, but I don't know. That's one of the reasons why I'm putting mine off, is because I just don't want to go in the hospital and do it. And Tanya says, Mom is more worried than me. But that's what we moms get paid the big bucks for. We always worry, I think, more about our kids than anybody does. Yeah, I'm like that on my daughters. I don't want anything to happen to them. And, you know, like when my oldest daughter was in the hospital back there right before Christmas, I was a whole lot more worried about her than she was. And which is fine because I was worried enough for the both of us. But yeah, I think that's part of being a mom. Something that we just do. And hey, we've been joined by somebody else. Hi, welcome. Come on in and make yourself at home. We don't have a topic tonight. We're just talking. And by all means, if you do like the live stream, give me that big thumbs up. And Faith says, right. I know what you mean. I have 2 surgeries that need to be done, but I'm stalling. LOL. I tell you, I know. Well, and part of it is, personally with me, I'm just allergic to pain. That's a big part of it right there. I have to have the knee done because of functioning with it, because it's not that it hurts. I just keep falling. But obviously you have to be upright. But, the whole idea that I'm going to be down for a few weeks and I'm going to feel miserable is just a heart stopper for me. Duh. And let's see, Tanya says, if it needs done, I am so used to doctors and hospitals, I have it done. And that's a good thing to do. I know you would think I learned my lesson after this adrenal gland, but I guess I'm a little slow to learn sometimes. I say sometimes that my mama called me a lot of things, but smart wasn't one of them. And it took me about, almost 2 years of arguing with the doctors on whether or not I needed the adrenal gland out for me to actually go ahead and have it done. And it's like the best thing that I ever did was listen to them. And of course, now when I go into the doctor, I've got one of them that reminds me that I was a little slow to get with the program, but that's okay. He's got a sense of humor. And Faye says, ha, 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 me too. And she's laughing at me. But that's okay. No. But there's like the whole time factor, the money factor, I just don't want to do it, this is going to hurt factor. There's lots of reasons. But that's on a knee. So I do think it's a little different depending on what body part you're talking about having operated on. So. And I'll play this back up. You see, somebody else is texting me here. Hold on. This must be my text night. Okay. This is somebody who is concerned that they missed my live stream because we moved it tonight. So I just got them straight. And Tanya says, wait a minute, where was I? Tanya says, I've had about 14 surgeries at this point. Holy cow, Tanya. I don't even know what to say about that. Like, where do you even start? Is there a prize? If there's a prize for the number of surgeries, I think you just won. Yeah, even my friend Faith is impressed. So I guess by this time, you just kind of roll with the punches. Tanya says, used to it. As I tell mom, you get used to the pain. Yeah, but pain's not something you want to get used to. I mean, I hear what you're saying because I have some chronic pain issues, and you can just sometimes you can just ignore them and go on. But once in a while, and post-op is usually one of those once in a whiles, you can't really ignore it and just go on. And Faith and Tanya are both asking how school is going. This is so far this semester has been my hardest yet. Um, you know, last semester I got a 4.0, and this semester I can't even guess. You know, in one class I'm just hoping to get through. But I guess we always, you know, sometimes have one of those semesters, but I have an interesting situation with a professor that's frustrating. He's canceled class, I guess, about 4 times now, and I've never had that happen. Plus, there's some challenges about some of my accommodations. And I couldn't survive school at all without the accommodations. So to have a professor where it's a little bit dicey is very frustrating. But I will say that out of the classes that I've had so far, I have had 2 instructors that have been difficult, and the rest have all been super. So, you know, it's I can't really complain because you're always going to have one bad apple in the bunch, but they've all been just phenomenal so far. And Tennessee has got some really great programs for going back to school. So, and Tanya's saying why and which class. Well, it's getting the accommodations. With a head injury, I get extra time taking tests. But he really, it's not that he just says no. He's more like, oh, you're not going to need it. Oh, you're going to do fine. Oh, you can take as long as you want. But then there's that pressure that just, you know, builds up by, you know it's going to take you longer because that's why you have the accommodations in place. It's not like you just walk in one day and you go to the office for students with disabilities and say, hi, I need accommodations. I mean, you have to back that up. I had to have a lot of educational testing before we put any of those in place, and found out that I had a couple of learning disabilities that had not been diagnosed throughout the whole time of going to school. So, but getting those diagnoses were good because it explained a lot of the things that have been going on since like I was a kid. But it also gave them a framework to know about what I needed more help on. So, you know, it's a challenge, and it's just the one guy. So, yeah. And the class, it's a sociology course on social problems. It's just, he's different. I've never had one that's canceled class like this, and I've never had one that's done the issues with the accommodations, like I said. I've also not ever had a professor that really just didn't do a good job teaching. And so it's like, it's the whole combination. So. And Lady Serenity says, I'm sorry, let me back up because I'm missing part of it. Tanya says, what a jerk, which is true. That's a very nice thing to say, actually. And Tanya says, I left college and IEP. And I'm loving it. I'm really glad that I went back because it's life-changing. It's just, I like it. It's a lot different than what it used to be, though. The first time that I went in, it's just like I was in this time warp bubble. It's really interesting, but I like it. I've had a few moments where, you know, you just want to, Yeah, I won't say what. But anyway, I've had a few moments that have been quite interesting. Um, one of my favorites was when one of the I'm trying not to laugh when I think of this because it was just so funny because this person came up to me and she was young, obviously very new, maybe just out of high school. And she made it a point, this happened to me over a year ago, but she made it a point to get up from where she was in the cafeteria and come all the way across to where I was sitting. And I saw her get up just because I'd been looking for tables. And she came over and she sits down and she says that she just wanted to let me know that she supported women my age going back to school and everything because she knew it was like really, really tough for somebody that's my age to think about going to places, like with people her age and stuff. But I was really proving that anybody at any age could go back to school. And I was just like, yeah, I just wanted to ask if her romper room teacher knew she was out from the playground, but I didn't. And she meant well. It was just one of those really funny kind of things. So anyway, Faith says, anxiety builds. Same with me. I really freak out with term papers and tests. And then she says, that was nicely put. I love that. Yeah, it's really tough. Term papers don't bother me so much, but tests do. And Tanya says he may have a few problems himself and needs prayer. I agree. I agree. Prayer is always the right answer. And she says, only way I could do my college was online. I could not do classroom. Too stressful for me. And Lady Serenity says, right, LOL. Yeah. Online courses are good. What I'm finding out for me is I am online so much that I get distracted because I'm always thinking, okay, I've got a blog post or I've got an article. Have I checked Facebook? Do I dare go into my email? And then it's like, oh yeah, I've got a paper I have to write. So write. I wonder if I need to check email. And then I go, but I just did that. So it's just my attention. I cannot focus as well. But if it's a combination of online and offline, I think that actually works. Like the best class I've had has been a hybrid combination course. And I really like that. So it was also by an English teacher who was fabulous. She understood completely about learning disabilities and bent over backwards doing somersaults to work with me and help me out. And that makes a huge difference. And I will have to say that every single professor I've had that has been associated with the English department at Pellissippi has just been astounding, especially when it came to accommodations. Could not ask for better. They've just been amazing. And Tanya says, you have to find what works for you. You do. But it's also nice that things are changing and that gives you more options. So you have more chance to figure out what's best. Like I've got a friend and she likes weekend classes only. And weekend classes would kill me. Like literally, being so busy all week and then Sundays being the way they are for me. I think the idea of having a Saturday class too, there would be no time. Every single day of the week would be taken up. And I couldn't do that. And I know, Faith, with you couldn't do Saturday classes because you got to do Girl Scout cookies. Yeah. But at least that option is open for people who can use it. Now, I do like the school sometimes has free Saturday courses, which are not really even a course. Um, they're just, an hour, a couple of hours on a Saturday, and they're designed to be kind of like more of a seminar. And they had one on dyeing Ukrainian Easter eggs. Now, I just think that would be a neat thing to go to once. And let's see, who we got? We've just been joined. Hey, Stellar Piper. Hi and welcome. Stellar says, only here for a few minutes, but hello. And Tanya's saying hi to Stellar. And Lady Serenity Haldane is saying hi to Stellar. And Faith, this is my daughter, my oldest one. And she says, sounds kind of cool. And Tanya, I know you've met Stellar before here in the chat. Yeah, sounds neat. Yeah, they do these. They did one on like hammered dulcimer, and I think it was banjo picking one Saturday. They've had some neat things. They had a drone class that I wanted to go to, but it freaking snowed. So that took care of that. Can't fly drones in the snow. And Tanya says, yes, I have. That's cool. And Stellar, thank you for joining us. Don't forget, if you haven't already done so, give me a big like. So hit that thumbs up. That's one of the markers, the thumbs up and the comments, those are, and the shares, those are things that Google looks at, and it helps out the live stream. So it makes a difference on basically how serious the Google algorithms take you. So it really helps. And with YouTube being YouTube and Google being Google, every little bit helps. So, yeah. But yeah, it really is neat to see all the different ways that you can do school now, and all the different things that colleges are doing, I think, to be more involved in the community and the life of the area, in addition to just students' lives. Plus, I don't know, this may be just an unusual school, but they even do things like they've got a food pantry and some other things set up for students. And Stellar Piper says, I'm going to have to go. Sorry. Stellar, thank you for coming in. I appreciate that. It's been good to see you, to know that you're still alive. You're still in existence. Sometimes kids don't check in with their families often enough. You have a good night too, Stellar. Thank you. And Tanya says she has to go. She says, I have to get off here now. I will talk to you later. Bye. Tanya, thank you for coming in. And Lady Serenity Haldane is saying good night and take care, Stellar. Well, I just appreciate each of you guys for coming in and being here. I don't know if people missed the memo, or if 10 o'clock's better for us. And 6 is not good. I mean, and 6 is better for others. I don't know, but I would guess that next week we would have a few more people in here. And Tanya says, see you later, everyone. Tanya, I really appreciate you coming in. And Lady Serenity, how many more bake sale or cookie sales do you have going up? Does that end at the end of March, or does that go through into up to April? Tanya Lambert says, see you later, everyone. See you, Tanya. Thank you again. And Lady Serenity says, I did get a pop-up notification on my phone tonight. Yay! Okay. So we're getting somewhere. YouTube sometimes forgets, I think, or there's a glitch or a hiccups or whatever. So the notices don't always go out. And Lady Serenity says the last day for booths is the 25th. Okay, that's good to know. I'm trying to think if there's any way that I'm going to see you before then, because I wouldn't mind. I don't need the cookies, but I would like to support her some way. Do they still have a thing where you can buy cookies and like send them to the troops? Because maybe I can do that. I'll send you a Facebook message on it. Because it's important. Anybody that's watching this, if you're not already supporting Girl Scouts, now is a good time to start, because there is not a better program out there than Scouting. Because I'll tell you, I think I've probably said this online before. I used to run a ministry center, and through the ministry center, we had around 100 juvenile offenders that we worked with. Now, this was out of 2 separate counties, and we had kids who were into band at school. We had students who were into youth groups. We had other students that were involved in various clubs at school. But out of all 100 students that we had, one was a scout, only one. So I think that really says a lot about scouting programs. So if you're somebody that catches this later and you're not supporting a Girl Scout troop, find a way to do that, because it really makes a difference. And Faith says, we have a booth tomorrow night, and I have 42 boxes of cookies left to sell, but not sure if I want to order any more. And yes, they do. Okay, we'll talk about that. I'll send you a Facebook message. Because supporting Scouts is really important. And what really convinced me of the importance was the numbers from the juvenile offenders. Because youth groups are important too, and clubs are important. Don't get me wrong, the numbers really speak for themselves. And to only have one scout out of the whole group, to me, says volumes. And heaven knows, I mean, especially with girls, are more likely to have self-esteem issues than guys. So I think that's an extra reason for people to support specifically Girl Scouts. And she says, thank you so much. I agree. Absolutely. You know, honestly, as women, if we don't stick together, we can't expect, you know, the guys in this world to help us out if we don't value our enough to stick together and support each other as women. And it all starts from girlhood. You know. I mean, it's important. And every time about countries where women aren't allowed to do things, like, what is it, Saudi Arabia, that just allowed women to drive finally? It's sad. But I think it also gives us, and I'm going to get kind of on my soapbox here, I think it also gives us more of the ability to invest more in women, because ultimately, I mean, we may be the leaders, and our children's children may be the leaders that affect change to the whole world for women's issues around the globe. Mm. And I know that some of you guys who are going to catch this later are familiar with me and my background, and you know what I mean when I say how important it is. So, yeah, it is. Let's see here. Okay, I'm sending you a message right now, Faith. We can, yeah. I think I am anyway. Yep, here we go. Auto Dreamer 77 just arrived. Hey, Auto Dreamer. How are you? Glad you could make it. We're not really talking about anything in particular, Auto Dreamer, so there's no topic tonight. And I got notice that you put one of your videos up about I'm a creator. I have not, I just got notice on that while I was live streaming, probably within, I guess within about half an hour or so, I'm guessing, but I haven't had a chance to look at it yet. But I will. And it says, I'm tired but great. I made a little progress. I have lots to edit. LOL. I understand completely. That's one thing about YouTube is you always have tons of edits. And okay, cool, no problem. Excellent. Yeah, if I tell someone or when I tell somebody that it can take me hours to edit down to get a 10-minute video, they're shocked. But you can't sit down and just pop out, you know, a 5, 10, 15-minute video because you've got to get a lot more footage together to be able to get that 5, 10, or 15, 20 minutes. You know, you may get an hour's worth of footage to get 5 minutes. You know, you just never know. It's a big deal. And I got a Facebook thing. Oh, and always don't forget, if you like the live stream, do give me a big thumbs up. That really helps right now. And let's see, I've got a Facebook message. Okay. All right. Oh, there you go. And it says, oh, next week's video will need to lose about an hour's worth to be under 20 minutes. I may fast forward some of the actual labor. That makes sense. I find myself doing some fast forwards, especially on the demonstration videos and product review videos. I had one that's going up tomorrow on a washing machine that I got for the van, which I love, but I got a lot of footage that I had to clip out, and I did some fast forwards on it. So what is your project that we're going to be seeing next week? Okay, and I'm just peeking at your channel, and I see that you posted an update on the F-150. That's cool. And the video is going to be on body repair rust on the rocker panels of a 1998 F-150. There you go. That's pretty cool. Just with the experience that we've had doing the build out on the Chevy Express van that we've got, I have a better appreciation for rebuilds, and it's made me really want to get more interested in it, because just trying to figure out how everything fits together with van has been like the coolest thing. And I've got a PT Cruiser that I've got almost 400,000 miles on. And so learning more about taking care of it has been really cool too. And oh, Granny just came in. Hey, Granny. Welcome to the live stream, lady. And then Auto Dreamer 77 says, I'm not certified to work on vehicles, but at the same time can't afford professional work. So, yep. I hear you. You don't have to be certified to do a good job, though. Shade tree mechanics have been around, I think, long before certifications. And I'm there you go. And let's see. Granny Monster says, thanks, even though I spelled Gayle wrongly. I'm sorry. That's okay. That's okay. You know, not a problem. And Auto Dreamer says, definitely I learned from the best too. That helps. Because even if you can't fully work on your own vehicle, just having the working knowledge to know whether or not you're going to be taken for a ride when you go see a mechanic is a big deal. Because most mechanics are trustworthy, but once in a while you'll get one. I got stuck one day in, I don't remember now what state I was in. I guess it was Virginia, and my car died. And they were trying to convince me that I needed a new battery and a new alternator, and I had a major electrical wiring short. And turns out I did need a new alternator, but that's it. And Granny Monster says, I do think with all the new electronic gizmos, it's made it a bit harder for the weekend grease guy to fix stuff. The lady that raised me had a car lot. Woo! A car lot would be fun. But yeah, I think so too, Granny. I also think that, you know, we get all caught up in all the bells and whistles of the fancy electronic things, and we don't think about it, that that's just that much more electronics to break. And Auto Dreamer said, my dad's side of the family basically farmed and ran a scrapyard. Dad was a diesel and heavy equipment mechanic for over 45 years. And Granny Monster says, that's wonderful, Dreamer. And I will jump on that bandwagon too and say that's wonderful. I think a car lot would be fun too. But I will say that one thing that all the electronics parts has done is make it a little more difficult when you, like, say, lose your key, because you can't just climb under the dashboard anymore and hook those two wires together. A little bit more to it now. And my husband is over there shaking his head at me. But it's true. I mean, you can't just go underneath that dashboard and pop those two wires. And Auto Dreamer 77 says, electronics do complicate things, but part of the fix for buying that is a scan tool. And Granny says, ha ha, it was great after I got my license at 16. She tossed me a dealer's plate and sets of keys and drove all sorts of cars. Cool. And Faith, Lady Serenity Haldane is back. Hi, Faith. That would be neat. Here's the keys. Here's the dealer plate. Be careful. I would have been able to grow up that way. I think I would have enjoyed that. And Granny Monster is saying, welcome back also. And Lady says, it's also awful if you lock your keys in the car or lose them. A new key can cost you a couple of $100s. Yeah, it can. We actually have on the PT Cruiser, we actually only have one key because I didn't want to fork over big bucks. We had a valet key made, so if I do lock my key in the car, my husband can open up the passenger side door, but that's about it. Yeah, but it does theoretically help keep your car from getting stolen. And Lady Serenity Haldane says, thank you. But yeah, a scan tool would be great. Of course, nothing's foolproof. I would be lost if it wasn't for this wonderful trick that the little PT Cruiser has, and that is when you start the car and you do that on the third time, if you have a code, you just flip it over to like the ignition switch lock thingy. Whenever it clicks, if you do that 3 times, then if you've got a code, it will flip up and tell you what the code is. And then you can just go online and Bing it or Google it, whichever you like. So that's been a great little gizmo for me. Because at 396,000 miles on the PT Cruiser, I've used that little trick a lot. Granny Monster says, I think my favorite car was what we called the mystery van. We took it to many parks for overnight vacations. Yay for vans. And Lady Serenity Haldane says, yucky computer chips. I tried to get one like that made, and they won't even make those now. Ooh, that's not good. And Granny Monster and Lady Serenity both say, oh, that's clever. It is. It's a neat trick that they put on the car, and I'm so glad. Because sometimes the check engine light will flick on, and you're not really sure, like, should you just stay on the side of the road, or can you drive it? So that little trick has helped me figure out whether or not I could get down to the next exit. You still have to pull over, obviously. You have to still that on the, can't do it while the car is driving. But it's been nice to have that, to know how much danger I was in. Plus, it saves you a trip into AutoZone. There was a little while where we had so much going on with the car that the AutoZone techs just about ran out the back door when they saw me coming in. Oops. We had to replace the computer on it a little while ago. Well, I say a little while. About 2 years ago, and it got a little dicey. And it says PT Cruiser is OBD2, so a scan tool will work just fine. They tell you what every sensor reads in real time, as well as trouble codes. It's nice when you have 4 oxygen sensors like that F-150 does. Ooh, yeah, I bet. With that many sensors on, I guess that would run you crazy looking for it if you didn't have a good scan tool. And Granny says, since this is by title open topic, I've been wanting to ask, since my roommates get issues with sugar but like sweet treats, are there any that isn't too bad for her, bought or homemade? I don't know. Partially because that's pretty individualistic. I don't know. Like with me, I can do fruits easier than I can do refined sugars. So, I don't know. I wonder if like apple butters would be better than preserves, if you're talking about making something homemade. Or like butter cookies are usually pretty good, whereas the ones that have the sugar coating on them are not so hot. And Auto Dreamer says, 396,000 miles is an achievement already, so whatever you're doing, keep it up, Gayle. A large part of it is getting the oil changed, whether I need to or not. You know, I try to go for about every 3,000 to 6,000 miles, whether it officially needs it or not. Usually about every month, every other month, I'm getting the oil changed. Of course, I drive it a lot too, which makes a difference. The scariest thing is, and I just cross my fingers and hold my breath, this is an original transmission. I've not ever had any transmission work done on the car. Now, I got the car used at like 40,000 miles, something like that, 30,000 miles maybe. But it's original transmission. But I'm just, so far, no problems. So, but you never know. It does have a new engine in it, though. I had to do that at like 280,000, but it's still going strong. Lady Serenity says, yes, I know in the Girl Scout cookies, the trefoil cookies, the shortbread butter cookie, have the lowest amount of sugars. Yeah, I can do like with my sugars, I can do animal crackers, but not the iced animal crackers. So butter cookies are usually good, more so than sugar cookies. Biscotti is usually also pretty good for me because it doesn't have quite as much sugar as some of the other cookies do, and they're delicious. At least the ones I make are delicious, I'll say that. Granny Monster says, thank you very much. Well, I really didn't help you, but hopefully that'll shed some light. I don't know. I'll have to look it up. Somewhere around here, I've got a book that's got some helpful ideas in it, and I'll see if I can find it. And if I can, maybe I can just take a photograph and send it to you of some of the ideas that it has. I'll have to see if I can find that thing. So. No, the apple butter idea was Brill. Okay, good. And Auto Dreamer says shortbread cookies are good too. Excellent. Yeah, the apple butter doesn't have quite as much refined sugar as some things. So apple butter, pear butter, peach butter, we do a lot of that here. And Lady Serenity says, I think I would need to taste them. And I saw the Chex Mix video. Not my fault on the Chex Mix, not completely my fault. It was just, that was a doomed day. But hey, there's no extra charge for the glass particles in the Chex Mix. But the recipe is really pretty good for the biscotti. And Lady Serenity was like, fire 911. I know, you're not kidding, right? Seeing those flames got a little interesting there on the party mix. But you know, I don't use the microwave that often. So in my defense, that's really my husband's game with the microwave. But yeah, it got a little rough that day. So, and it did, but you know, it drove the dog crazy because when the fire alarm goes off, he knows immediately to come and get me and drag me outside. And Granny Monster says, I'm so sorry, but I take on some nighttime chores and need to get at them, but I couldn't resist the chance to let you know I just dig your working, folks. Granny, we love you. So thank you for coming in. And Granny Monster says, LOL, fire checks. That's the stuff viral vids are made from. Well, I'm glad something good could come about it. I felt kind of silly. But between the little flames there from the Chex Mix and the glass pan exploding, it was just not a good day in my kitchen. And Auto Dreamer says, what's this video called? I just hit the red button today. It's the one where it talks about party. I'll have to see now what the name of it is. Would you believe I can't even think of it right now? How crazy is that? It's the one where I have the baking dish that's in pieces and it says fire on the on the thumbnail here. Let me see if I can find that thing. Okay, I can't find it because I locked up my browser. Which for me is part of the course. Let me see what I can do here. I'm not a terrible cook. That was just a crazy day. And the title of the video is Party Mix Cooking Fails in My Kitchen, Explosions and Smoke. So there you go. Now you can find it from that. Good thing I wasn't cooking anything for church. Lady Serenity says, crunchy Chex Mix that sparkles. Yes. And Auto Dreamer says, LOL, checking it out. Sorry if I lose the stream. It's okay. Mitten Hacks is in, says, top of the morning, lads. Hello. And Lady Serenity says, I know, I'm just giving you a good ribbon. LOL, not that often I get to. That's okay. It's not that often that I almost burned the house down. Hi, Mitten, and welcome. Yeah, that one got a little dicey in the kitchen. But we all made it. We all made it through. And that's a good thing. I just also hope that never happens again. So, Mitten Axe, what have you been up to? And there goes my browser again. There we go. And Mitten says, same, I almost tried to cook my arm yesterday. And Lady Serenity says, yikes, not you too, Mitten. And then Lady Serenity says, you disappeared. It's just a picture of you now. Uh-oh. Oh, found you. Okay, good. Yeah, tech is great, but once in a while I want to drop kick tech across the field. Because there are moments. And Bella says hi. Hi, Bella. She turned 10 yesterday. Wow. Who told her she could get all grown up? Okay, I'm staring at my computer screen trying to figure out why it sometimes is just a picture. I don't know. I give up trying to figure it out. I guess the only good rationale is because it's YouTube. I don't know. And Lady Serenity says she's supposed to be in bed since she has school tomorrow morning, but is sitting here reading next to me. Ah, there you go. And Lady Haldane says, not sure. I figured it was something I did. No, it's probably just YouTube. And Auto Dreamer is back saying, I'm back. OMG, fantastic. I'll take my Chex Mix smoked. Not a problem. Smoking Chex Mix is apparently the menu special at my house. Unless you want it with a side of glass. Now, if you want a side of glass with it, we can do that too. And Lady Serenity is saying, love it, Auto, Chex Mix smoked. That's a good one. With a little fire on the side. Oh, and glass. Yes. Yeah, that was just not a good cooking day at my house. But hubby, this is one time where hubby appreciated the thought more so than the reality. We'll just say that. The whole theory that it's the thought that counts was much better than the reality this time. And Auto Dreamer says, maybe not, but you had the sense of humor to upload it. I figured, why not? You know, you have to laugh at yourself sometimes. If we don't have the ability to laugh at ourselves, then we're not going to go very far in the world. And Auto Dreamer 77 says kudos for that. Thank you. I firmly believe that laughing at yourself can be the best medicine. And hey, just want to remind everybody to give me a big thumbs up on the live stream here. Right now I'm at 5 likes. And Lady Serenity says, that's cool. Thank you for the laugh. I really needed it that day I watched it. That's true. One should always be able to laugh at them. Goodness knows I laugh all the time at myself. You go. We have to be able to. It makes a difference. Okay, here we go. So, are there any other recipes that you guys want to recommend that I can cook that might not burn the house down? And for some reason, when we were on vacation last week, we did not have a fire one night. So no grilled hot dogs over the flame, no steaks over the grill. I don't know if that was by design or if my husband was trying, if that was by accident or if my husband was trying to tell me something. Lady Serenity says, pizza biscuits. Bella and I love to make those. That's a new one for me. S'mores and an ice cream cone. Okay, that's a good, I can try that one. I'll send you the recipe. Please do. And Mitten Hack says, Gayle, I texted you, but I was just being dumb. And Auto Dreamer 77 says, no marshmallow torch from overdoing it in the campfire, no fun. True. And Lady Serenity Haldane says, the ice cream one is fun over the fire. Okay. That's cool. Auto Dreamer, I actually had a really cute experience at a fire one time. We were all enjoying our little campfire. It was a church shindig, and we were doing marshmallows, and one of the little girls got hers in the fire, and then all of a sudden it torches, it flames up, and she takes it out, she blows it out, she runs over to her mom, and she's like, here, I made this for you. And the mom's like, oh, that's so sweet, thank you. And the little girl was like, yes, because it burned and I don't like charcoal. So here we were all thinking how sweet, the daughter made this just for her, and it was really, no. And Auto Dreamer at 77 says, LOL crunchy. Absolutely. But she was so cute. The sweetest thing when she brought it over, it was just like, here you go, mommy, I made this for you. And then it's like, because I don't like charcoal. So it was like, now the truth comes out. And Mitten Hacks says, Gayle, I texted you, but I was just being dumb. Mitten Hacks, I did not realize that you had texted me, but okay. All right. I'm glad you got it worked out. And at least she was honest. Yes, she was. Once she fessed up that she didn't like it because it was burnt. And Auto Dreamer says, I've eaten a few of those because I just can't say no to a toddler. I get you. Totally get you. It's hard to say no to kids. Especially me. I get this flashing sucker light on my forehead. Auto Dreamer says, pro tip, just keep a soda handy. Sounds good. Mitten Hack says, Gayle, do you ever wait for your computer to die? Not usually. Usually I just kill it off. Why do you ask? They says, you and me both on the flashing sucker light. Yeah. Okay, I'm glad I'm not alone. It's just, you can't say no to a kid. I don't care hardly what age they are. We have got some like 10 and 12-year-old kids at church, and they have me wrapped around their finger. It's terrible. Mitten Hack says, mine's at 2%, and it's like, please plug it in. Yeah, if I wait for mine to go completely, I have problems charging it. It seems to take longer. So usually at about the 5%, I go ahead and shut it down because around that time, it'll shut down without warning. Yeah. But yeah, the kids at church are something else. Mitten Hack says, oh no. Yep. Mine will hit 5%, and then there's no warning after that. So at that point, I usually just shut it off and plug it in. Mitten Hack says, that happens, but it says you will be signed out in just in a minute. I don't have that. I did for a while. I don't know why. I don't know if it's a problem with my software or what, but now it gets to around 5% and it just goes without warning. There's the crash from the ice machine. I hope it didn't like kill your ears there. The ice machine may just sound louder because I'm nervous about it. So sorry about that big crash. I like the ice machine though. We got one of those little countertop versions, and we actually took it with us on vacation this past week. It was nice to have. And Mitten Hack says, but I do have a lot of infections on my little laptop. Uh-oh. Have to do some scans and bump up that virus system. Strong antivirus is the #1 defense online now. You know, and it's in the earlier days of the internet, back in the mid-90s, we didn't have all these viruses running around, and it was a lot less stressful to be online. Mitten Hack says, what do you prefer? It just depends on the computer. You know, at school, they like to run, I think it's Norton, but I would have to look. I'm not even sure I know which one I like. I use Spybot a lot just to clean it off, but I actually am not sure what antivirus program I'm running now. I think it's whatever came with the computer. The one at school is just on their system, and I think it's Norton. That's something else neat. We were talking a few minutes ago about the college that I go to. They actually loan computers if you need them. Which is kind of nice. Ah, there goes my phone. Let me see what this is. Ah. Okay. This is somebody asking if I heard about the family that perished in a van in California? Yes, yes, I did. Yeah. That's why you have to do it safely if you're going to be out in a van. You know, take your precautions, use a carbon monoxide detector, things like that. Oops. Did I shut that off too soon? I must have. Okay, here we go. So. Oh gosh, well it's 10:30 and I'm about to fall asleep on you guys. I'm sorry. 11:30. So Auto Dreamer 77 says, it's been great hanging out. I'm about ready for a shower in bed though. Thanks for having me. Auto Dreamer 77, thank you for coming out. And I will get to your video as soon as I can after this. And Mitten Hack says, also, if you want a recipe, I'll try to find a book and take a picture and send it to you. Okay. A recipe for, and Lady Haldane said, just sent you the pizza recipe. And good night, Auto Dreamer. And Auto Dreamer 77 says, thanks. Good night. And Mitten Hack says, night, Auto. Mitten Hack says it's like cheesy potatoes. What's like cheesy potatoes? I think I missed something. It's weird. I don't know how to explain. Okay. And Mitten Hacks, how many accounts do you have? Because I think I'm just following you on this one. I think I got the Jake 70,000 followed. Do you have any others that I need to take a look at? Mitten Hack says two. Okay. Jake, honestly, I never use anymore. Okay. You can unsub. It's fine. LOL. No, I don't usually unsub. I like supporting my friends. That's what e-friends are for, to support each other. So I am going to go though. It's getting kind of late. Yep, I hear you, Faith. I hate to do this, but I need to sign off. Need to get her to bed, and me too. Going to be hard to get up after having this time off for spring break. LOL. I hear you. I hear you. Well, you get a good night's sleep, and I will talk to you in a couple of days. And Mitten Hack says, well, good night, Lady Serenity, and good night to Gayle. And Lady Serenity says, can I just have one more week with no school? Yes, you can. Wait till June. And then you can have one more week. See, your extra week's coming. Okay, thanks. Night, everyone. Nice talking to y'all. It's nice talking to you too, Faye. So mitten hacks, are you right quick? Are you guys still in school or are you out for spring break? Can't come soon enough. I hear you, Lady Jane. I'm hearing you. I don't go to school anymore, Mitten Hack says. Okay, so did you graduate or are you being homeschooled or how are you doing this? I got bullied and also I do homeschool now. Okay. Homeschool can be tough. I did that for a while in North Carolina. It was really challenging. But I'm sorry you got bullied. And my parents were afraid that I would become suicidal. Well, I'm glad they pulled you out and homeschooled you then, because being bullied is not cool. Not cool at all. People should know better. So, my phone. That was my ding to remind me what time it is. Well, I want to thank you guys all for coming in and joining me. With it being 11:30, I think I'm going to sign off. And I'm going to go. And Mitten Hack says, well, good night, Gayle, and good night, everyone else that's still watching. So good night to you too. And thank you for coming in. It's been good talking to you. Okay. You take care. Y'all have a good night. Don't forget to give me a big thumbs up before we all go. And thanks for watching. And I'll see you out about and online.